Hey everyone, Video Game Lover here, and today I will be reviewing the PlayStation Vita. Now the PlayStation Vita came out in December of 2011 in Japan, and we didn't get it until February of 2012. This is the successor to the PSP. The PSP was a very successful handheld for Sony. It was their first taste of handheld marketing, handheld gaming, so they decided to do it again. The Vita was competing against the 3DS. The 3DS came out in 2011, March in 2011 to be exact, and it had a slow start, but eventually it kept its momentum going around 2012. The Vita was revealed in E3 of 2011, and a lot of people were impressed, except for one thing, which I'll get to later. The launch price of the Vita was $249 with Wi-Fi, and if you wanted a much better Wi-Fi version, it was $300, and that was because Sony decided to partner with AT&T. And let's just say it didn't sit well with people. Don't believe me? Take a look at the reveal.
A set of network features and ambitions requires the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. And we'll be partnering with AT&T as the exclusive carrier for PlayStation Vita in the United States.
Yeah, it wasn't very well received. The one thing to know about the PS Vita is that there are two different models of the Vita. What I'm holding is the original model. Now, what makes the original model very special is the screen. The screen in the Model 1 is incredible. They decided to use a OLED screen rather than an LCD screen. And with it, it's a 5-inch screen, and it's absolutely sharp. The graphics, a lot of the games on the Vita look amazing on it. But because of this, it was very expensive for Sony to make. So in 2014, they went to make the Model 2. The Model 2 was a little bit smaller than the original model, and it was a lot lighter. But the big difference, and why not many people liked it a whole lot, was that they changed the screen. They went to a LCD screen as opposed to the OLED screen that this model has. The good news about the Model 2, however, was it had a better battery life, an extra battery life. The battery life to the Vita is around 5 hours, I think, while the Slim model is 6 hours. So it's important to note. So here are the buttons. I had to refocus the camera, my bad. You have your square button, triangle, circle, X, and 2 analog sticks. This was a massive improvement to the PSP. The biggest criticism with the PSP was there was no second analog stick. So now with the Vita, you can use a second analog stick and it works like a charm. Not only is the screen a touch screen, but also the back is also a touch screen as well. It's very comfortable to hold. It fits very nice into my hands. So here is the charger. Yeah, it's pretty massive. And this is the plug, so it's its own thing. You just plug in the bomb, and there you go. And your Vita is charged. Eventually with the Model 2, and this is another upside to the Model 2, is it uses a micro USB charger as opposed to that charger. So that's another plus of the Model 2, except once again, the screen isn't that very good. So you're probably asking yourself, okay, the Vita is very powerful and it has an amazing screen. Why did the Vita did so well? Well, in the bottom, I'm not sure you can see it, there's a little port right here. I'm gonna try to see if I can open it up. That's where the memory cards go. And this was one of the biggest mistakes that Sony did with the Vita, are the memory cards. The memory cards are absolutely expensive. They're like the size of this, like a little tiny speck. And they're expensive. I've seen memory cards go for like $70 to $80. There's a lot of them. There's the 4GB one, the 8 gigabyte, the 16 gigabyte, the 32 gigabyte, and in Japan there was the 64 megabyte. Alright, megabyte, yeah. So let's just say it didn't store that many games. Like, you can only store a couple games and that's it, especially if you have a 4 megabyte. You can get another one, you can get a 16, but it's pretty pricey. But yeah, that was one of the biggest issues everyone had, was the memory cards were absolutely expensive beyond belief. That said, however, if you get past the memory cards, this is a pretty nice handheld. But what also kind of hurt the system was the 3DS was having a pretty nice library. The Vita has a lot of great games, especially if you're a JRPG fan, but if you're not really into JRPGs, you're gonna have a little bit of a tough time finding some really good games on the Vita, but there are a lot. Especially if you, once again, you're a JRPG fan. One of the best JRPGs on the PlayStation Vita is Persona 4 Golden. So, but anyways, I'm gonna turn this on and let's just take a look on the menu. See, it's a touchscreen. One thing that I forgot to mention is the D-pad in the Vita is amazing. The Vita has an amazing D-pad. It's so comfortable. They added something called Near, and Near is basically like Street Pass on the 3DS. So if you know about Street Pass, you probably are going to know about Near. So here's the menu. A lot of things, and let's play, let's see, let's play, Earth Defense 2017 Portable. Let's do that. Hope you all can see that. So yeah, as you can see, the screen is just crisp. And if you want, you could hold, you could press the PlayStation button, you can get out of the game. I'll show that in just a sec. I'm just waiting for the game to load. Watch. See? And I can resume back. I'll just pick mission 1. And I'll just put it on the easy difficulty since I haven't played this game in a couple of days. But I've been playing the Vita a lot. These load times. We're just gonna skip this cutscene. Alright, after a couple load times, here we are. So if you've probably heard of Earth Defense Force, I'll give you the little gist. Aliens come and invade, and rather than using weapons, they decide to use alien bugs. As you're seeing right here, we got ants. And this is basically all you do for most of the game. It's a simple game. A simple, I guess you could say it's kind of a little bit like Contra a little bit. It plays decently on the Vita. Ow. I have a lot of help because I already beat this game. But I think that's enough. The Vita also had some ports of PlayStation 3 games, which one right here is Dragon's Crown, which I recently finished, and it's a very good game. You can also go to the PlayStation Store, and you could get PlayStation 1 games and PlayStation 2 games, and even some PSP games, which one of them right here, God of War Ghost of Sparta. You can crack the Vita and try to get emulators to run on it, but it's very hard to do, especially compared to the original PSP. So overall, do I recommend the PS Vita? I do. There are a lot of good games on the Vita, such as Tales of Hearts R, you got Earth Defense, you have Killzone, You have Tearaway, which is one of the best games on the Vita. You have a Gravity Rush on the Vita, Dragon's Crown. Final Fantasy X was also on the Vita. There's a lot of games that were ported to the PlayStation Vita, so I highly recommend. And one of the coolest things about the Vita is you get a little thing called PlayStation Vita TV, and you can play Vita games on your TV, which is really nice. So overall, I really recommend the Vita. Give it a chance, people. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. This is Videogamelover58. See you guys in my next video. Peace.